The State Department says about 60,000 people had their U.S. visas revoked under President Trump's travel ban. But amid the protests and controversy, Democrats and former CIA officer thinks there's something great about the stalled executive order. And he's here right now. Brian Dean Wright joins us to explain. Brian, you've seen the worst. You know we're in a battle of the war on terror and ideologies. Yeah. What do you like about the ban as it was proposed and rejected by the Ninth Circuit?
Yeah. If you look at the very beginning of this executive order, it talks about something really important, and that's fundamentally about values, right? President Trump said, listen, we need to talk about what kinds of immigrants we want into this country. Specifically, we don't want folks who are going to discriminate against folks who are gay or folks who are women or people that are based on their race. That's an important conversation to have in this country, and it's one that ought to be reflected in our immigration policies.
And if that was communicated effectively, perhaps the American people would have understood it more.
Sure. Let me give you an example. In Saudi Arabia, a couple of months ago, there was a woman arrested for daring to take off her head covering, her hijab, right? We should be asking the question, do we want her and people like her in this country? Or do we want the people that jailed her, that created those laws in Saudi Arabia? As a country, what kind of immigrant do we want? Because fundamentally, immigrants, yes, have rights, but they also have responsibilities. And I think that that's the part that's missing in this whole conversation. It's about American values. We need to have that debate.
Yeah, and because it also, not only that depends, we're not talking about somebody who'll be an asset in your block party.
Sure.
We're talking about somebody that might turn and try to kill you.
That's right.
Because it's about security. So also, honor killings are also another issue here.
Sure.
Don't you believe on some level Donald Trump is seeing what we're seeing in Europe, especially Germany, and a lot of it within the Sunni community is a Salafist sect, and the Salafists are uncompromising, for the most part, terrorists.
Right. Well, listen, yes, I absolutely agree, but where I would tweak this order and where I think that they went a little bit wrong is in this way. Saudi Arabia is producing this kind of ideology, this radical version of Islam, and that's really the fundamental problem. So why wasn't Saudi Arabia on this ban? Second, we need to be talking about the ideology itself, because that ideology exists in places like Germany, where there are about 10,000 of these Salafists, right? So that conversation about values, about this type of ideology, that's what needs to be the focus here.
Yeah, look at Belgium, look at France, look at Germany, and tell those citizens that security is not an issue. Next, right. Your other expertise is intelligence.
Yeah.
You see what's going on right now, where the CIA is not, or the intelligence agencies are not fully briefing the current president. How dangerous is this?
Here's my concern after watching this for the past number of weeks. There ought to be a fundamental wall between our military and intelligence folks and politics. When that wall starts to crack, you start getting down this very, very slippery slope that I've seen abroad, which is basically a police state. So the folks that are, my former colleagues need to remind themselves that they serve the president, and more importantly, they serve the American people, and their job is to do their job. It is not to leak the classified information that they work so hard to collect. Our job is not to play politics.
But they are, and so far, the American people are bystanders. Ultimately, we will pay the price.
Well, that's my fear.
Thanks so much, Brian.
You bet.
Interesting perspective. We'll see if they rejigger the order and put it out there again, because the focus was probably get the American people behind if it was presented correctly.
Yeah.
Brian Dean Wright, thank you.
You bet.